work you con ye guamut. Ye womo the dagwe asele. Asi boro siriwod. Kunji bi bod be ma the dagwe asele. Asi gwinning ijimen the wodo dagme gade ye. Ye guamut Jeremiah Gyang. Asingo mo ikyo hadwood. Iji kime. Diru di kene dagwe asele he. Iji kime. Iji bilele.
Ik jou een tabo, word het ook aan dagen. Ik jou doen aan wat ik wil. Ay, ay, ay,
Talk Guame.
Sure, kaza.
Sure.
Kaza.
Would pere.
Okay.
What is me cow Howard? Kimo iji bilele yirani vogo yunu.
Okay. So my thank you the invitation among and then nara me. My thank the zero feed and nongin be answer. Yeah. So basically the question was with regards to my journey, you know, how did I come about the musical journey, right? I'm Jeremiah Gyang, from Jos, from Du Village to be more specific. You know, Muyang Rabin the gender Neduka. You know, so I grew up though in Holshe, in Alikazaure Street, in Sabunre Donkoa. Those are the areas where I grew up in, you know, and I grew up in Angwansensus as well. That's around Secretariat Junction. So that place where, you know, we had the music concert the other day, that's my area. I grew up there. That's the path I used to follow all the time when I would, you know, escort my then girlfriend, now wife, back home from Abba Memorial to Tudumada. I would just have a walk with her around that Secretariat Junction and we would pass, you know. So I come from Jos, I'm a Biron boy, and I'm a true plateau man, you know, by blood, yes. So I started my music here. My father was a musician in the 60s, 70s, you know, so I picked up music from him. He used to be one of Baba Paul Gendry's disciples. He used to be the interpreter. Baba Paul would preach in Hausa and he would interpret to English. But he was also a musician. So when he became the Secretary General of Sabunre Donkoa and one of those official trips came, he bought a keyboard when he came back to the country. And that's how I realized my father knew how to play some keyboard long before I was born, you know. But he always had a guitar, and my then teacher, one time chairman of, I think, Bassa local government, Uncle Peter Agara, he was my teacher from primary school. He used to pick up my father's guitar, come to school and teach us new songs. So I went to Kitty Joy Private School in the 80s, you know. So basically, those are the early stages of music for me. That's how I actually started right here in Jos.
So who ye came peramo hase ho dinibanga ke hose sele hide hasele who has a begling song.
So the question is, was the beginning difficult or did I get any help? I did get a lot of help from starting first of all from the Almighty through my father. My father helped me so much. Just by observation, I was able to learn so much in music. So I grew up, my initial stages of learning music have always been by observation. So when people say, Jeremiah, come on, teach me something, I just start playing it, hoping that they would just observe and learn. Little did I know that, you know, I was supposed to actually break down what I was playing, and I never knew how to break it down. I just knew how to play. I just didn't know what I was doing, the technicals of what I was doing, you know. So yeah, basically, I got a lot of help from my father. I got a lot of help from people like Dabs, from people like Uncle Shegun Adio of the then El Shaddai Cathedral here in Jos. To me, all of those were early stages, even though I started in 1987. And some of these things happened sometime in the 90s, but they were all part of my beginning stages. That's how I became a bit more proficient in music. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. How do I get inspiration to come up with brand new songs? I think usually God just whispers songs in the air and I hear them. Once you have the gift of farming, God throws ideas according to your gift. My gift is music. So I hear songs. When people say they write songs, I'm like, okay, I don't write songs, I hear them. You understand? So which means that even the songs that I would eventually sing in the world were pre-written by the Most High when He created me. So I do hear those songs. The songs come, and sometimes when I'm going through difficult situations, songs come just right there, and then I'm able to, come out of the situations when I get the songs.
Great.
It is still God, the Most High, and the circumstance, He uses the circumstances that surround me. So it is His Holy Spirit that He usually provides to do certain things with regards to music and with regards to what I'm capable of achieving, actually. Yeah. It is the Holy Spirit of God. I still have to go back there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Iji bitomo the Huaramwa. Even more the Huyi Basitom Missang Pieriat Abemat Kevemode Baveda Bedakme.
Thank you for that question. It's actually a very good question. For me, an achievement, because one thing I realized that to be successful in a village of poor people is actually poverty in a sense. But if you can actually see that the people around you are prospering as well, then that is a sign of success. I grew up and I achieved so much, but every time I came home, because my people don't know what's out there, I notice all the time they have ways of downplaying some of the things that I've been able to achieve. So my eyes were opened by God to realize that when people don't know how difficult the journey is, they will not know how to encourage you or how to, to support you if you need support. So, but one thing that I thank God for is social media. What happens today is I have the opportunity to show people the truth about the challenges in music so that they don't repeat the same mistakes I might have made. Because one of the biggest weaknesses we have as a community is my case is different. Everyone believes their case is different, but it's not true. Life is not fair, and you don't owe anybody an explanation. You just have to go out there and prosper and do well and be successful. And life doesn't really care about that. You have to figure that out by yourself. And my eyes were opened and I realized that, okay, so since that is the case, it means that when I go out there to do music, the biggest achievement is to be able to have a community that likes what I'm up to, that believes in what I'm doing, and that respects it enough to encourage it. So for me, the biggest thing that we are achieving as a people is the unity, the coming together and being able to have conversations with one another concerning our problems and desiring to solve our problems from the grassroots level. So for me, that is the biggest achievement that we have so far. It's not so much the quality of the songs, because if the songs are good and the people don't want to listen to them because they are depressed or because there's just something in them that is built to hate the progress their own people are making, then they are not going to listen to them. But what we want, or what I want, is for people to be able to enjoy the music and to see the healing potential that is contained within it. So the biggest achievement is to be able to bring the attention of my own people to see my effort and to appreciate it. For me, that's one of the biggest achievements I've achieved in my life today. Not so much the music, but the community effort.
Prepare your heart.
Challenges, I think the biggest challenge, there are many challenges, but nothing is as big as this acceptance from our own people, because our own people seem to be able to accept others, not their own. So I would love to see a situation where I can become a rich man by my own people's help. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is the only time that I believe that my blessing, the blessing that God has put on me to be able to pronounce, can actually come to action for my people. So when I see some TV stations borrow my music and use it and refuse to somehow give me credit and respect it, as much as I'm happy that my music is being used, the fact that I'm not being acknowledged by my people is not a good situation, it's not a good sign, and it doesn't bring blessing on the people, though they might be thinking they're doing it to also help me and give me some level of exposure. But without that complete conversation of acknowledgement of the effort that I am putting in, somehow it still undermines the effort we are making. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges we are facing, having our people stop doubting us and believe in us, so that we too from here can be able to produce results like the Igbo world, like the Yoruba world, like the Kannywood world, so we can produce results for ourselves, from within ourselves. And if you go to most of those industries, our own people are the most glorified. We are doing well when we serve the Igbos or the Yorubas or the other, cultures. But we just find it difficult to serve one another. So I think it's something that we need to actually improve on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, you say work. They see you sell it. They sell it. Mabumo de bisumiho. Keb mabumo de basipere bilele. Remove it.
Okay, so that's to the love is action. Love is action. You can either share our posts or follow or purchase when we are selling stuff. So because when you just love us in word and there's no action to support the love, we can't feel the love. You understand? I meet so many people that tell me they are my #1 fan, but I don't know them. But I know people who have done great things for me as well. You understand? Like, you can't forget people like that, people that purchase your music, people that encourage you during difficulties and make sure that you are doing better. Like, for instance, when we lose someone in our family and how they reach out, So that's one. That's to those that love and care about what we do. You prove you're online, but also if there's something that we do that blesses you and then we need money to continue it, you should be more than happy to spend money to encourage us. That's one. Number two, also to those that are trying to start music and do music, the most important thing about discovering yourself and being yourself is that you need a mentor. You need a mentor. You need mentorship. You need leadership. You need to learn from someone. You have to serve someone and make sure that the person becomes successful while you were serving them. That's when you can ever expect that if you go out there, your case can be different. Your case will be as the case of people who actually encourage and bless their elders and bless the people that are before them. Because if you can support someone else and he can become successful, then it will not be hard for God to raise people to come and support you to help you become successful. But if you've not served anyone and you think you need to just go out there and just blow and become rich and famous and everyone knows you, you are deceiving yourself. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of dues that you have to actually pay. And the biggest dues are, who are you serving? Are you serving someone that is worthy of your service or less worthy of your service? Or are you serving someone who you are being faithful to or you are being unfaithful to? Let's examine all that, So those are the words of advice that I have to people. Get a mentor, and to the other people, engage with our content. To those that are not musicians, engage with our content. To those that are musicians and want to do better, serve somebody. To give me fulfillment or satisfaction of life. I think it's the service of God. I think God has answers for every question in life. And through God, I've been able to understand that the priority is Him first, my family second, then community third. Community means I have to prove it with my family first. Before, if I take it outside, it's not hypocrisy. But if I can't show that love to my wife and I want to show it to some people out there, or to my children and I want to show it, then it's hypocrisy, it's not real. So I think I need to do better with the service of God and understand more how the death of Christ has very little to do with religion, but more to do with love and our actions towards one another, how we treat each other with respect and not with disdain. You know, basically that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Just to add to that,
yeah.
It's not part of the questions, but I was wondering, do you have a project in picture, something you're working towards? Right?
Technically, I think that was what your last question was. Yes, I'm working on several projects. One of the projects I'm working on is my wife's debut album, her first album. She's never made an album before, but she's made so many songs over the years. And another project I'm working on is a family album as well. Yes, called the Supplication album. So it's going to be close to 20 songs. Yeah, and we're going to sell them online for maybe 10,000 naira or $20. Yeah, that's what we're going to sell it for. Why? Because that's actually what the music really should be worth. And we just need a small number of people to buy it. That will do it for us financially. We'll be able to cover all our, you understand, our expenditures and all that, yeah.
All right, so when are we to expect this? Pretty soon?
Yes, hopefully my wife's album is coming out in March. We don't yet have a date for March or April. We don't yet have a date for my own personal family album that I'm doing. It's also going to contain songs from my wife, from my younger brothers, you know, basically, and from a few of my friends as well. There has to be something that's actually Luella is not just a job, it's a ministry as well. So sometimes you have to actually be in that space where you simira sure.
Top. What a thanks for saying.
Absolute pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yinidi ye gwamo Jeremiah Gyang anong sago ye iti wogo dagwi inons hebilelewe ba wo ijak bilelewe hamu homo hatavit so mwad ikira se bilele yikon dagwizon inko sal yang hu wok bilelezon ku hu veri bilelevomo di mwahot rura bilelemo